Right, so prepping now to try and get this nut undone. We've been warming him a bit and letting him cool, and putting diesel down him, and generally being really nice, hoping that it'll come undone. So we've got this tube sat on an axle stand over there, lodged against this 2-ton engine. Hanging out the end of the tube, we've got the torque multiplier connected to the 3/4 drive ratchet. I've got my socket and my 1 to 3/4 inch adapter ready, because the torque multiplier is inch drive. You'll also note, for safety, we've got a chain around the tube which is linked into the axle, and I'm hoping it holds it all together. That's it, it's gone. That's a shame, isn't it? I think we can say that's surrendered. I'm going to give that one a try without the heat, because now we've released the tension in that bolt, we might be alright. God, 20 years of working in an office has done me no good, has it? There she goes. See if the gun will take it. Wow, look at that. Blooming heck, Richard, I bet you're jealous now. They've just dropped out like that, aren't you, after what you've gone through? Oh, well, I'm going to have my tea now. That's grand. These 4 U-bolt nuts are now freed off. I've had them all off. They run up and down nice and free. The reason they're tightened up again is because I need my piece of chain. I need my piece of chain on the bar, because I'm going to start undoing the other side. So we're going to be same process, warm the other side up, and away we go. Now, in case you're wondering, and I'm sure some of you will be, what this is, it's a Brenner garden weed burner, from what I can gather. I wanted one with a bit smaller tip on it. Wasn't sure whether it was going to do the job or not, but as we've seen, it does the job really, really well. This is second hand. I bought it off a well-known internet auction site, and it was delivered to my house for 20 quid. But I have seen them at places like Wicks and what have you for 60. Great for undoing these nuts, warming them up. You want a bit of gentle heat. We don't need to get things cherry red. I think lots of people have ruined stuff over the years by getting it too hot and pulling threads and what have you. Yes, we are heating the bolt and the nut at the same time, but they're a different size and therefore they expand at a different rate. Let them cool a bit and all the rest of it, you'll get movement. That's what we're after. We've got these big saddles, and I wanted to warm around them to get the U-bolts out, because I know my mate Richard's had some problems with his S21 because you can't get the bolts through the saddles. But we're going to crack on anyway. I've found the best and safest way to light it is with the self-igniting mat gas torch. And then it's got a handle on it to give it full whack. We've got a regulator on the bottle. Quite a safe tool to use as long as you're careful. Because we were doing the nuts and I'm going to get a lot of heat, that's why I wanted the long handle. They're obviously cheaper Chinese makes out there, but you're taking your chance. That's my socket on my tool multiplier. That's me spragging me chain onto the axle stand. Some great fumes going on, folks. That's just cherry blossoms gone straight away. Right, just to let you know where we are now, we've got these bolts freed off. We attempted to free these off yesterday, but we had a bit of a tool break in time, I think is the best way to describe it, and we wrote 3 drives off. And the problem was we were going from 3/4 drive to inch drive to an adapter inch step down to 3/4, because I'd only got a 3/4 drive 1 7/8 socket. I've been able to borrow an inch drive socket, so we're going to go back on with it. We're using a Norbar torque multiplier, and that's been shearing the step down adapters 1 to 3/4. just to give you some numbers on the null bar, the max hand input on that null bar torque multiplier is about 550-ish Newton meters. Its max output is 2,500. So for the output thing, if you think about a truck wheel nut is around 450 Newton meters, you know, so that's quite a push on that. Something like a 230 DAF 4x2 fridge van that you see somebody like, I don't know, cart running, they would be around 900 to 1,000 Newton meters. And things like Dinky's S500s that are pounding up and down this road with 44 ton gross and a powder tank swinging off the back would be about 2,500 Newton meters. So that has got the same torque as a Scania S500. Yeah, boring fact of the day. So we're going to warm this up, we're going to warm this nut up because we tried that one and broke everything yesterday. So we're going to swap onto this nut. So we're going to go back on with getting the Brenner torch on, getting it warmed up, and yeah, we're just going to pull them off, no bother at all. Right, we've had about 5 minutes there, so we're going to give it a pull, see what it does. Can do no more, can we? Moving. Champion that. Lovely. Right, well I'll get on with the rest of them, get the rest of them off, and then we should be ready to lift the springs off if all goes to plan. Right, so this is the one from yesterday that we had all the trouble with, that broke the two adapters that we just could not get to shift. So we're going to have another go. The other 3 bolts are slackened off, the other 3 nuts are slackened off. And I suspect this shouldn't be too bad. But I've been wrong before. Yeah, that's gone. Right, we're in outstandingly good shape now. All of these U-bolts have been freed off, oiled and ran back down. I've moved my chain so we can lift the axle once the springs are off. I'm currently at the front of the axle. You might be able to see the drain bung here, so that's the back. So if we were to point the truck that way, towards the bench or towards where the camera is, this would obviously be the offside spring, and that one the near side. The offside spring has definitely had a couple of leaves in it, so it has been off before. But next job is undo the U-bolts, drop the springs off, and then we can measure them up. I think, looking at them, they are symmetrical, so it doesn't matter whether we put that to the front or this to the front, but we'll know better when we get it off, because I'm going to drop the tape measure on them as soon as we get them off. But let's get the U-bolts out next. Super. That's got it. There we go. Nice bit of spring when it come off. Lovely. There we go. Right. Springs off. And let's get this cleaned up. That one's 26.5. Yeah, so's that. So that's good news. It means that we can pull the springs apart and not have to worry about matching things up in terms of making sure the leaves are the right way around, because they're all symmetrical. So that's great stuff, that. And then we'll get them cleaned up and painted in batches. I'm going to do a bit of a move round, get this other spring off. I think the springs can go outside for now, because I want to get on with